What's up, dudes? So today we're going to try something a little different. We're going to do a quick review of this knife, and then we're going to go out and do a cut test on it, all in the same video, right after one another. So this is the Vosteed Wombat, and this was sent to me for free by Vosteed. Did not pay for it, but I don't make any money if you go decide to go buy this. I'm going to link it down in the description if you do want to, but if you do, I'm not affiliated with Vosteed like that. I don't make money from it. So just full transparency, so you guys know what the deal is. So I haven't actually carried this knife. I've just messed around with it for a few days, and we're going to go cut test it. So this is not a review of, someone that's been carrying and using the Wombat for months or weeks or whatever. It's just my observations, and then we'll go see how it cuts. We got a crossbar lock here. It's an adjustable crossbar lock, and I showed this in a short a couple days ago, but this scale actually pops off really easily. You just take out these three screws, and you can tell you don't see a pivot there. Usually you would see a pivot screw right there. It's actually underneath the scale. So you don't need to mess with the pivot at all to change the scales out or access the Omega spring adjustments. So you just pop these out, the scale lifts right off, and you can adjust that Omega spring tension. It's at the tightest right now. It's got 3 total settings. Same on the clip side. You could pop the scale off, and actually there's a hole through into the pivot adjustment. So you can adjust the pivot tension or whatever you want to do without having to take this off as well. So it's kind of best of both worlds. You know, easy access to the Omega spring and covered up pivot, but also can adjust the pivot too if you want. They also do this kind of little tab in the wire clip, which I've never seen before. Kind of just a cool accent of color. I thought it was pretty cool. The one thing, it gets a little snagged on your pocket sometimes because that little lip of the tab is kind of down below the inside surface of the wire. So your pants seam does get a little snagged on that sometimes. You could probably move it up a little bit, and maybe that wouldn't even be a problem. But where I have it right now, it does catch a little bit. It's not really a problem. You can get past it, but just a little catch. Now, I don't think it comes with this color studs. Vosteed sent me a little baggie with some different colored studs in it and different colored tabs here. I don't think it comes with the Wombat, but you can definitely get them on the Vosteed website, I'm guessing. The, different colors you can mix and match. So that's kind of cool. These are aluminum scales, and they are kind of ribbed. You can also get G10 scales for this. They actually sent me some. I think I got them right here. Yeah, so same thing. They're just G10 if you want like a lighter weight, or maybe you don't like the feel of aluminum. There's that option too. Now, this is a really nice buoy blade. I think it's quite a sexy buoy. I think this is really nicely shaped. Let's measure blade stock. 118 thousandths. And behind the edge, we have 17 thousandths. Up here we've got 16. All the way up at the tip, it is still 16, maybe 15. Not super thin, not super thick either. Kind of right in the middle of the road range. Kind of the sort of grind that you see on a lot of pocket knives. We do have the fuller here, which is kind of hard to get to. Definitely can't get it with your fingernail. Kind of get it with the skin of your finger maybe. But it's difficult to get to. It's really just a thumb flick knife. We do have a little bit of jimping up here in the buoy sort of area, which is kind of nice. I don't know how practical that'll be. We'll see in the cut testing if I actually use that or not. M390 blade steel. Now the detent for a crossbar lock is not bad. In fact, I'd probably say it's one of the more snappier crossbar locks that I've come across in this strong setting here that it's in. Still not quite as snappy as like something with a D10 ball, but really not bad at all. In fact, pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. I gotta say that. What else? Sharpening choil, pretty good. No smile yet. There's separation, but you're getting, well, let's see. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. I think you'll get away with quite a few sharpens before that starts to look a little funky. So good there. Reversible clip. That's great. So you got ambidextrous lock and swappable clip. That's great for the lefties. One more interesting thing on this crossbar, I don't know if you could see it, there's a little, it's kind of swelled in the center of that bar where it rides on the tang. You can see actually the track kind of where it rides on there. So it's not the full surface of the bar sliding on that tang, which theoretically is less friction and should be kind of a smoother deployment. I can't really notice it. Maybe if it breaks in, but you see what I mean? There's just less friction, less surface area being contacted as it rubs along the tang there. Pretty interesting. Never seen that before. So that's kind of a cool little feature. Ergos are great, you know. It's a small-ish knife. Let's get blade length real quick, and then let's go cut. Just under 3 inches, 2 7/8, 3 3/4 handle. That means we've got 6 5/8, almost 6 3/4 overall. Cool. I'd say overall this is a pretty solid, man. Pretty snappy crossbar lock. You know, real smooth. You know, with the tabs pulled down. Reversible. You know, easy access. Omega spring adjustments. Aluminum scales. I like aluminum. Some people don't. Sexy buoy blade shape. I think this is a pretty darn good Vosteed. So let's go see how it cuts. All right, here we are. Ready to cut test. This is a factory edge, never even been cut with before. It's pretty sharp. I wouldn't say it's like insanely sharp, but it's all right. We're gonna start right with double thickness cardboard. See how this baby slices. And right away, I'm noticing some difficulties. It's just not cruising through the cardboard like I would have expected for its geometry. Kind of weird. I can't quite figure this one out. You'll see more what I mean here. See how hard I'm having to push? I almost think it might be the coating, possibly, is causing like a lot of friction. I don't know, man. I really don't know, because just looking at the geometry, you would think it would slice fairly well. Maybe it's the fuller possibly creating friction, because as you'll see, we're not dull, so I don't know. It didn't pass through cardboard well at all. Next up, let's do some utility cutting. You know, it's a buoy, so it's not going to be the best at this, but you can raise up your wrist and kind of get to the tip. And it does fairly well. I'm using the jimping up there toward the tip, which is pretty nice to have. So you'll see here with the thick stuff, it's most of the time it's cutting through. Sometimes it leaves a little bit that, you know, parts of the cut that didn't quite make it all the way through. Trying using more of the belly this time, see if I can kind of get through that way. And it seems to be about the same. I'll grab one thing, a little piece of leather for later. But first we need to get to the Cecil rope. I tried using, tried cutting with my finger up there toward the tip, and that didn't really work, so put my fingers back on the handle, and it got through the Cecil rope pretty well. That was even more confusing. Why didn't it cut the cardboard if it's seemingly, you know, obviously pretty sharp still? It's got to be the coating or the fuller or the combination of the two creating friction. It's the only thing I can think of. Leather glove time. And you'll see it cuts through this pretty darn well too. Yeah, actually did really well with this. Next up, let's roll this leather up. Very nice. This is my favorite part. I don't know why this is so satisfying. Using the belly to run down a piece of leather like that. Try it. Try it at home. It's really fun. Just don't get your fingertips. Gosh, that would suck. How about some hard tubing? Not bad. I'm needing to push pretty hard through this, but it's cutting it. And let's get to the 2-inch strap. There's not a lot of straight edge, and it gets to the belly pretty quickly, so I feel like we're going to slip out of our cut really fast. Let's see how far we get. Oh, gosh. That's the worst a knife has done in a pretty long time, maybe ever, with the strap. I think it's just the blade shape. Maybe the same thing that's happening with the cardboard, like with the friction or something. Because it's not dull. It's not as sharp as it was when we started, but it's not dull. So I don't know exactly why that didn't do well. Let's do a little whittling. Just to see if it bites in the wood well, and if, I feel any hot spots in the handle. I didn't really feel any major hot spots. I will say the ridges in the texture on this aluminum handle are not the easiest on the hands. They're pretty deep ridges, I guess you'd say. So I do kind of feel that a little bit. It's not biting in the wood very well either. Now the coating on the blade does seem to hold up really nicely. It's not flaking off anywhere or doesn't have any big, blemishes on it. It actually feels just the same. And let's see how our edge retention was. Not great. Definitely some tearing. If you get the right angle and speed, you can get through the paper, but definitely not great for M390. Could be a lot better. Let's strap it up. If you're wondering why I'm not using my usual strap, it's because I'm in my garage and this is my garage strap. I'm so used to having a nice wide one though that this skinny one feels weird. Definitely nicer to have a wide strap. Speaking of straps, I'm going to start another batch of the Dude Co. straps. So stay tuned for updates on that. It won't be for a couple weeks till they're done, but when they are done, they will be on the Dude Co. Leather website. I'll announce all that when it gets closer. So our strapping has worked. We are back to pretty sharp like we were when we started. Overall, I just, the lack of ability to easily slice through the cardboard was kind of disconcerting. Edge retention was not great, not horrible, but you know, it's M390, which should have pretty good edge retention. Should be a little better than that, I would think. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's a heat treat. That could be the edge geometry as well. I don't know what HRC they did this at. So overall, I think it's a cool design. I like the blade shape. I like the action for a crossbar. I like it's pretty good. I like a lot of things about it. But I wouldn't say the cutting performance was excellent. I would say it's okay, pretty good maybe. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Like the video before you head out. See you next time.